Hey Aquarius, how you doing? This is 2023 in 5 minutes. Do you think I can do it? I don't know. There's a lot going on. And boy, are things going to get interesting for you this year and in particular next year. So you've had Saturn going through your first house for the last 2.5 years, and that can put quite a sobering feeling on you. You know, it's quite a time when we feel a bit flat and a little bit off. Now, Saturn is moving into the sign of Pisces on the, where is it? Sometime in March. I'm just scrolling up my little list. It's going into the sign of Pisces on the 8th of March. It's going to be there for the next 2.5 years. During that time, it's asking you to get really clear about your finances and how you're earning your money. In particular, how are you managing your money so that you're being responsible with it? Now, that doesn't sound very exciting. And trust me when I say it's time for a bit more fun. However, have your fun, but start planning something so that it doesn't feel so heavy in your finances. It's important to look at them rather than just ignore them and hope they'll go away, which I know is much more your preferred style. Now, there's other things changing which are going to have a more of a longer term impact, and it's definitely a shift in who you are. And it's Pluto is going into the sign of Aquarius, your sign, from the 23rd of March. Now, it's been in the sign of Capricorn, and to be fair, it's a welcome change because it's been typically in your 12th house, which is about your mental health and how you feel in terms of, it's almost like it's the place of your undoing. You know, Pluto's been there kind of nagging you and kind of really sort of taking you out of your natural vibrancy. Now, Pluto's now shifting and going into your first house, which is bringing any issue about yourself into your actual visible consciousness. So you'll be able to really see what's going on in your patterns. You'll be able to see where you're holding on to stresses within your body, and you'll be able to do something about it. That's the good news, is where things have been going on in the background and you've not been able to put your finger on it. Finally, you can. Now, this is a really long-term aspect. It's going to be lasting for at least 20 years, but it's coming into play next year. You'll get a taster of it this year, from March to June, and then you'll get another taster of it for 20 years from January next year. Other things that are happening, because there's quite a lot of shift this year. Jupiter is in Aries for the first 5 months, and then it is going into the sign of Taurus. Now, up until the 16th of May, with Jupiter in your third house, things should get quite fun in terms of your local community and your reach, how far you can reach, how much fun you can have with friends, and how you can get out and about. Thereafter, Jupiter's going into your fourth house, which should really warm the cockles at home. It should really help you feel, even though there's a seriousness of, you know, trying to get your finances sorted and trying to rediscover who you really are in terms of your personal identity. That said, there's this feeling of expansion at home. There's this feeling that it's possible to move and shift and grow. And it can be a time of well-being at home, you know, where finally you've got a nice feeling, you know, it's a feeling of safety. So these are some of the main areas of change that are going on, and these are slightly more longer term. Now, in July, on the 23rd of July, Venus is going retrograde in your 7th house. Now, the 7th house is the place of your romance and your relationships, and it often brings back somebody from the past, usually somebody that you've got unresolved business with, you know, where it didn't quite finish. And, you know, where you weren't quite sure of your value or their value. Venus retrograde often shows us where we put certain things on pedestals and others not, you know. So it's a time when our own personal value can shoot through the roof, but also when you might see other people through the lens of them being a bit better than they might really be under close inspection. The great news is Venus will go direct 40 days later. And so you'll be much clearer. I wouldn't make any really strong personal decisions in the love life until then. Just enjoy what comes up around that time in your relationship, but don't put lots of expectations of longevity on them. Wait and see how things pan out, because it's a highly romantic time and not one where we're completely in our full senses. Anyway, that's just a taster of some of the things for 2023. I hope that's helpful to you. If I can be a further help, then you can just reach me. It's louisatannermunson@gmail.com, or you could just go straight ahead and book a session with me. It's www.feelgoodastrology.com/store. Anyway, lots of love to you, Aquarius. Have a great 2023. Mwah.